Hello and welcome to the Rock Your Voice podcast. Vocal coaching tips that will transform your voice, interviews that will inspire, industry guidance, and so much more. Without further ado, let's get on with the show. Hello! Today we're talking about finding the fastest track for your vocal success. And when it comes to vocal growth, everyone is looking for the fastest, most effective way to level up. It's a competitive playing field out there, so we're all looking for ways that work the best for us. The truth is the fastest track definitely looks different for everyone. So today we're going to dive into different learning styles. I want to look a bit at one-to-one coaching, like private sessions, group programs, independent study, such as listening to this podcast. Right now you're doing independent study, or you might download some programs that you do in your own time. The other one, of course, is immersive retreats. Now, the biggest thing is finding what works for you. Some people are like slow and steady wins the race, and they take little bits at a time. They're working up, they're building their skill set, they're building their toolkit. And this would be something, say, like a mastermind or an ongoing program that you're part of. Say, for example, like my vocal coaching club. So we meet every week, have a live session every week, and we're just topping up the skills, checking in. There's accountability, there's a whole group thing going on. So we're all like supporting each other, there's accountability, there's regular training, but it's not as much of an investment as it would be for, say, one-on-one coaching. So if you're someone who's like, you know what, I enjoy the regularity of it, I like to check in, I like to make sure that I'm keeping on top of, maintaining my skills. Something like a weekly or a monthly training. There's loads of really cool things depending this might not even apply to singing, but any industry. There's lots of masterminds and sort of Facebook groups where, say, the authority will log in and do like a live session once a month or twice a month or something. So if you're a learner like that, that might be the way to look at it. I always feel like if I want to invest in something, I'm like, no, I'm going to go straight to the one-to-one and see how that works for me. And if I like it, then I'll do more of it. So that's kind of how I structured things with the way that I coach, is that you don't have to lock into a term or anything like that. It's always like, okay, come see how we get on for an hour. And it's so fun because, again, it's expensive to invest in high-level coaching, but I just love the fact that if you come with an open mind and you're ready to really dig in, you can get like 6 months worth of stuff done in an hour or a couple of hours. It's wild how people who are out there performing and have been doing so all their life will come to me, and within an hour they've learned skills that they've never applied, new tools that are going to really help them. And I hear back in like 6 months, hey, can I have another check-in? And the things that you taught me last time really changed everything for the past 6 months for my voice. So sometimes investing in that one-on-one session is really worth it, because it can be a fast track to your goals, especially if you have a specific goal. Say, for example, you're going in the studio, or you're promoting a single and you want to just prep for something very specific. That can be really, really helpful for you. Also, though, like for things like tour prep, any of those sort of long-term things where you're having to use your voice and stuff, the group programs are great because, again, it's that accountability and you're checking in every single week or month or what have you, whatever the program is. So it's keeping that training going. And of course, there's independent learning, which is what you're doing right now. So I'm a complete podcast nerd. I binge podcasts because I have a long commute whenever I go into the city to teach in person in Calgary. So I have like 3 hours every time I go in. And there's a podcast, Do You Effing Mind, by Alexis Fernandez. And she has a bunch of cognitive neuroscience stuff that's applicable to day-to-day situations, and it's brilliant. She is phenomenal. My other one is a business podcast one, Chill and Prosper, with Denise Duffield Thomas. I love her because I just love her approach to things. I feel like we're very similar in the case of we're a little bit scatty and just love all the things, and we love trying all the things when it comes to business and working with cool clients and just building something that serves people. So I love her stuff. And then there's another one, Plenty, by Kate Northrup, which is really interesting to me because it's all about money mindset, and I'm useless at that. So yeah, it's valuable to me. So there's independent learning for sure. And that can also be things like teachable courses where you log online and you get yourself your program and you just follow it through at your own time. Or is it Mastermind? What's it called? I'm not sure. I want to say Mastermind, but they have brilliant programs too. So yeah, depending on how you learn best is going to get you to the fastest result. There's no point you signing up to do an online course and spending a ton of money to invest in an online program if you log into it once and never look at it ever again. And I think the statistics are a little bit crazy. That's why I sort of stopped producing online training, is because not online training, but the sort of purchase them and forget about it courses, because I think it's like 7% of people actually complete them. I would love to know, is that something that you do enjoy? Please let me know in the comments, because if that's your bag, then, and I'm missing out, and there's tons of people who are like, yes, I love these independent learning programs, please give me all the courses, I will create lots of courses. But the statistics were a little bit depressing when it was like, when people buy it, only 7% complete it, which not only just is like a lot of work for the creator, but it's actually, again, coming back to Kate Northrop's money mindset thing, I don't like charging people for something that they're not actually going to use. So I'm much more, from my side of the fence, I'm like, let's do a one-on-one session where I can see the transformation in the hour, and you can feel the transformation and experience the transformation. And I feel that there is a lot of value back and forth in that sort of an interaction. And the group learning, I just love because of the community. Of course, you're getting the quality content, but you're also connecting with other singers, which has been what I think is the most powerful thing that I have done with my business. And that comes back to retreats, which is where community's been built, and there's friendships that have been going for, I want to say, like 8-9 years now, since I first started hosting these sort of group events and group retreats. And people have sort of gone on to create their own little jam sessions and groups where they're performing together, co-writing together, all kinds of things. So that for me is hugely valuable, and I absolutely love it. Now, there's kind of a really close crossover with that intensive one-to-one private coaching session and the retreat element. And I was listening to, actually, Denise Duffield Thomas had a podcast out just recently all about why you should attend a retreat. And it was not necessarily her promoting her retreats, but it was like thinking about the reasons for why you should do it. And it's got me thinking I would love to do it again, because I think the last one I attended was it wasn't even like an overnight retreat. It was like a week in San Francisco with the Vocalize You community, and it was all very voice science, all the mechanics of the voice and all of that kind of stuff. But being in that immersive situation, connecting with people from across the world who are equally as passionate about the voice as I am, and who are equally dedicated and driven to being the best voice coach that they can be, was such a brilliant space to be in. It was invigorating, it was inspirational, I learned a ton, and just connections for life, people that have just motivated and mentored, and I've like stayed in touch with ever since. So it's been incredible. And that was 2015, 16. So I am well overdue to go and attend a retreat. They're actually Vocalize You, and there's another one. No, okay, it's Vocalize You is the one that's coming up. It was Vocology in Practice was the one that I attended in San Francisco. But VIP and Vocalize You are combining to do one coming up real soon here, and it looks amazing. It's all for voice coaches, and I wish I could go, but I am, alas, pre-booked. So that would have been the one I would go to, but I'm going to look at it for next year for sure, because what I learn, you learn, because it all trickles down and it gets passed on. So yeah, so that's a really cool thing. Oh, another fun note that I wanted to share. This is a little bit of a ziggy zaggy episode. I just kind of wanted to hop on and talk about things like learning styles and stuff, but on a personal note, I am starting my training in neuroscience and the voice, and also trauma-informed voice coaching and how trauma impacts the voice. Because if you've listened to a bunch of my episodes, I'm absolutely obsessed with mental health and the voice, and how mental health and the music industry, all of those connections, and how your voice and your mental state is all very much connected. So I'm so excited to learn more about this. Again, it's the trickle-down effect. If I can learn, you can learn. So I'm very, very excited to learn more of these skills to pass on down. And I will have that under my belt before the retreat in July. Because yes, they're short courses. Obviously, I'm not disappearing to go and do my degree or doctorate because that would take a long time. Anywho, so speaking a bit more about the immersive retreat thing, because I did love being part of that thing for a whole week in a different city, a different environment. Work was shut off for the week. I was in what I was in. So it makes such a huge difference to say, I'm going to shut off my day to day and I'm going to transport myself to this other place where I'm surrounded by people who are equally as passionate about what I'm doing, and we are going to just immerse ourselves into growing and developing our skills within our realm of creativity. And that in itself, just making that commitment to yourself tells your brain, tells your body, we are in this, we are doing it, we are gonna get a result. And it's just such a cool shift to see when people make that commitment to themselves, that they're just so in it, they're going to learn so much, and it's just so much fun to see what happens. Again, the community building, I think, well, I love seeing the transformations, and also it's fun to see the transformations in a group setting, because when everyone else sees it from the outside, when, say, for example, I'm working with one person, but it's in a group, everyone else is watching, and they suddenly get it and they're hitting these notes or doing these cool, crazy things that they've always wanted to do. But the whole of the rest of the group is observing this transformation. Sometimes when you're in it, when you're the singer that's going through that transformation, you don't quite realize what's happening at that moment. But from a learning perspective, to be observing that transition, to see how those techniques are applied and to see what actually shifts, it's really cool. And it's so supportive when everyone's like, wow, that was really, really great and well done, and just supporting each other and getting those transitions and getting those big transformation moments is super cool as well, as the community stuff. But that also builds the community, right? Because we're all cheering each other on. We all want each other to grow and succeed. So I absolutely love that so much. The other thing that you will get in a retreat experience is that immersive one-on-one time. So for sure there's workshops and there's different sort of sessions that you'll be part of, but then there's things like just hanging out at lunch, chatting with people about their experiences and their roles and what they're doing. And then also there's time to just hang out with the professional coaches and stuff, like spending that time just networking and talking casually, not just like in a very formal Q&A session or joining just a webinar and watching someone talk at you. There's that really cool connection and bonding experience that happens, and they get to see you and they get to see your music and what you're creating and learn a bit about your goals and who you are, which is so fantastic. Because a lot of times when we have things like webinars or group courses and stuff where you just log in and learn, the people teaching don't get to see much about the people attending, and to have that gives you immense up-leveling potential for having that connection and being able to stay connected with these people who are peers or established role models in your industry, or successful people within your industry. And they're people that you can reach out to in the future and be like, hey, do you remember me from the retreat? And they'll be like, yeah, I remember you wrote that awesome song, or I remember you performed this badass tune around the campfire, or you were really helpful with something, or hopefully they remember you for the right reasons. So yeah, those are things that you can't get from a lot of other learning opportunities. So I really think it's very worthwhile looking into that if you do want to up level and if you are a fast learner. So I think one-on-one coaching, if you're like, I want immediate results today, I'm going to my session, I'm going to leave with new skills. The same thing will happen at a retreat, but on a much bigger scale. So those are kind of things if you really want to fast track your learning. Slow and steady, accountability, group programs, and masterminds and sort of container groups online are fantastic for that. So yeah, just keep it in mind. If you really want to transform things, up level, take it to the next stage, the Invermere retreat is coming up. It's filling up too. This isn't just like a pitch for my Invermere retreat, although it very much sounds like it, but it is very much a sort of a nudge for you to look around and see what's out there. Maybe it's just going to a workshop next and putting yourself in a group situation versus just listening to this podcast, or joining a group session. But the Invermere retreat is coming up July 24th to 29th. So it's a full 5 days. You are in it. We are in a beautiful mountain town that's got also lakes and beaches. And so it's super chill. You're going to just get in the zone. Songwriting, you can learn from CCMA winning, platinum selling songwriter Aaron Goodvin. He's had hits performed by Luke Bryan, many other artists. All the links I'll put in the show notes. He's a phenomenal songwriter, awesome guy, all about helping other artists thrive. He's been on the podcast as well a couple of times. We're also going to have a fantastic in-house studio. We've got a producer coming so that they can record all of your scratch tracks and demos and songs that you're writing. So if you come up with a brilliant idea, it will be locked down so that when you leave, you won't be like, what did I just write? I'm going to be doing lots of voice and performance workshops as well as one-on-one sessions. We've got Victoria Goodfin. She's coming as well. She's a publisher based out of Nashville. So she's going to be there to help you learn what to do with these brilliant songs that you're creating and how to keep them protected from a copyright standpoint, and how to get maybe hit singers covering them and making lots of money from your music. So yeah, it's going to be fantastic. I'm also going to be announcing very, very soon. We're doing a couple of weeks prior just to, again, build that community, get the group familiar with each other, and also start the creative process and get things flowing. We're kicking off a couple of weeks earlier with some virtual sessions, and we're going to have CCMA, Juno winning writers, platinum selling artists who are going to be joining the group to just start talking about songwriting, vocal health on tour, how to prep to go on tour, how to put your session musicians together, how to put your band together, how to put your set together when you're on tour or when you're performing, all kinds of cool stuff. So there's the announcements coming very soon about those artists. We're also going to have a session on booking gigs and negotiation and all of that kind of stuff too. Maybe some social media stuff. Honestly, it just keeps growing. So for those of you who have locked in your spot and the current pricing, good on you, because this is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and better and better. So again, I'll put the links in the show notes, or you can visit rocketvocalstudios.com/retreats and you can fill out the application form, because if I haven't met you, I want to make sure that this is the right thing for you to invest in. Again, like I said earlier with the online stuff, I don't like taking money from people unless it is the right fit. So I don't want you making this big investment, you showing up to this place and being like, I feel completely lost, out of place, this is way over my head, or sitting in the corner twiddling your thumbs going, why am I here? So there is an application form just to make sure this is all the perfect fit. But you can also, I'll put a link for a 15-minute call if you want to schedule a call. We can chat about it, make sure it's the right fit for you. I would love to see you there, because I feel that retreats are just the next level up from one-on-one coaching, and they are a way to just completely throw yourself into it. They tell everyone else, I am committed to this. This is what I'm doing. This is my passion. I am going to go and I'm going to grow. I'm going to learn. I'm going to build my community. I'm going to connect with some phenomenal industry professionals. So highly recommend it. And I am going to start looking for some awesome retreats myself for maybe one day in the near future for me to go and learn some stuff at too. But like I said, I am thrilled that I'm going to be starting these courses on neuroscience and also the voice and the impact of trauma on the voice. I'm also going to be training with Mindy Pack. She's been on the podcast also. She coaches lots of artists that you and I know and love, and she has kindly offered to work with me very soon here too. So again, I learn, you learn, I'm thrilled. We're all about sharing our skills and up-leveling anyone who wants to take the time and become a better singer, songwriter, musician, performer, artist, whatever you are in this space. So please reach out, and if there's any way that I can support you, if you'd like information on any more of my programs, please just send me a note. Social media, Instagram's the best place for me. It's Rocket Vocal Studios, ROCKIT Vocal Studios. And let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully I'll see you in July. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you do leave a review, it's really useful to help others discover the show. You can also check out the weekly vocal workout over on Patreon. I'll leave the links in the show notes, where you can access weekly vocal training from yours truly and totally rock your voice. Thanks again for listening. Check out Rocket Vocal Studios on social and on the web, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.